This Saturday, Donald Trump was greeted to thunderous applause at Madison Square Garden for UFC 309. It's not the first time. I remember not that long ago, he went to Madison Square Garden. Everybody was cheering for him. But this time, Joe Rogan says it was, I believe it was Rogan who said this, louder than it's ever been. He had Elon Musk along with him. RFK Jr., there's photos of them on a plane eating McDonald's, and oh boy, the left has lost their minds. But I'm going to go ahead and say I was right. I'm not the only one who was right about this. I'm not the only one who predicted this. But with Donald Trump winning the popular vote, the dam has broken. AOC is now coming out saying, Democrats, vitriol, everybody's got to calm down, even Democrats. She's asking her voters why they split the ticket and voted for her and Donald Trump. But aren't you mad that he's a felon and a rapist? Yeah, no, that doesn't work anymore. And you've got now Morning Joe Scarboro and Micah Brzezinski saying that they met with Donald Trump because it's time to do something different. My friends, the popular vote victory has shown the American people you need not hide any longer. After UFC, oh man, to the victor go the spoils as he dances the Trump shimmy. NFL as well. I got the videos for you. We'll talk all about it. But what was once men dropping to their knees to worship a cult ideology, they're now doing the Trump shimmy, which represents, freedom. But that's the point. I got a bunch of examples for you where basically the left is caving in. And I don't want to say the entirety of the left, because many of these liberals refuse to let go, and boy, is it embarrassing. You've got two choices, my liberal friends. You can now play the, now I understand why Trump is good. Or you can double down like Kyle Kalinske, for instance, losing his mind on X, being like, Kamala's not woke, Or, Destiny and Sam and these other liberals who have given in so hard to their cult ideology, and people like David Pakman and these other liberals on YouTube, they have entrenched themselves in a fractured worldview that is dying. Listen, I got to tell you, when Joe Scarboro and Micah Brzezinski are like, time to go talk to Trump, then you got Bill Maher. I love it. All of these guys dropping to their knees now to worship the moderate. Ha! Yeah, okay, spare me, dude. Bill Maher, Trump can't win. It doesn't matter. Kamala's going to get the popular vote. And now it's the Democrats won't learn a thing. Now, this is what I don't like about Democrats. You know what? Let me tell you. I accept it. I predicted that, and I accept it. Now, let me put it this way. Certainly, I was wrong about the Tyson fight. I thought it was going to be scripted. But that's neither here nor there. It was fun either way. And again, not really related to this. But I had predicted that if we won the popular vote, it would send a message in the culture war that we are the majority, you are on the wrong side of history, and you do not want to be the minority market share. So many of these liberals are only behaving this way because they think that's the right side of history. And now that we have proven otherwise, what do you get? Bill Maher, Joe Scarboro, AOC, tons of people not coming out. Ezra Klein, I love this. Ezra Klein coming out and saying to all the people claiming it's Fox News lying about grocery prices and crime, shut the F up. Because I talk to people on the street. They are pissed. Oh, yeah, dude? Why didn't you come out and say that before the election? Fine. But what I said was this. Before the election, a lot of these default libs, they are going to say whatever they have to say to appear like they're not in the minority because they're terrified of it. These people don't care about politics. They are dangerously stupid and of ill moral repute. But they exist and they vote, and we want their influence. There will never come a time where someone like Ezra Klein, in my opinion, actually tells you what he personally thinks. He's going to say what falls in line with the majority every time, whether it be us or leftism. Now that we have won the popular vote, these people are falling in line to stand behind us and say, whatever you say, whatever you say. And you know what? It does kind of suck that that's the way the world is, but I accept it. Better that they grovel and beg for forgiveness and use the platforms they have in this direction than to double down. But the true believers, they ain't giving up. Kyle Kalinske is one good example, man. He's tweeting out, Kamala Harris never said anything about this, that, or pronouns or anything. It's like she had pronouns in her bio. She had an interview where she talked about giving sex changes to transgender inmates. And fine, in the 107 days, we get it. She wasn't campaigning explicitly on overly woke things. She was campaigning on nothing. So try as you might, literally, opportunity economy and price gouging. And we're like, what does that mean? What are you talking about? Nothing. But let me show you the videos, my friends. You don't need to hear it from me. Trump greeted with thunderous applause in triumphant return to MSG, UFC 309 with Elon Musk and RFK Jr. And there, I love this. Democrats have to be opposed. I should say liberals have to be opposed to everything that Republicans are. So now they're advocating for drinking fluoride and having medication not pass medical trials. I'm like, this is crazy. RFK Jr. comes out and he's like, I'm concerned about fluoride in the drinking water because there are studies that show that it correlates directly with a lower IQ. And we need to make sure that all our medications go through proper FDA testing. And they're like, you anti-vaxxer, you're crazy. Okay, sure. It's kind of wild. But like I said, you can only go so far. And now people like Micah and AOC and Bill Maher and others have no choice. Bill Maher was a little more cautious than others, mind you. Now let's play this video. Before we do, my friends, head over to castbrew.com and buy Cast Brew coffee. We got Stand Your Grounds back in stock, medium roast. Rise with Roberto Jr. That's right. Roberto Jr., the original mascot, he has passed. And now we have RB3, we call him. Roberto Beaks III is the current king of Chicken City and Appalachian Nights. It's our coffee company, so we sponsor ourselves. So check out castbrew.com, but also go to timcast.com, click join us, join the movement. We've got a Discord server with tens of thousands of people. When you sign up, you get access to the Discord server. And many people are saying, Tim, how do I get involved? I want to make a difference. Well, one thing I can tell you is this Discord server, you get involved, you'll make friends, you'll meet people, even if just online. But there are meetups, pre-shows, after shows, content happening all throughout the day. And our members are saying, Tim, you got to shout it out more because we want more people to join. Check out timcast.com. Let's read the story from New York Post. President-elect Donald Trump returned to the world's most famous arena Saturday night as the people's champ when he got a thunderous ovation while doing a heavyweight-style walk into the UFC at Madison Square Garden. Let's play this and see if we can get some of that audio. I think it's Kid Rock playing. I don't know if you can actually hear. Look at that. Mike Johnson was there. And so I will say this too about recess appointments. Mike Johnson is in Trump's entourage. Here's the play for Matt Gaetz and others if the Senate will not confirm. Mike Johnson calls for adjournment of Congress. The Senate says no, and Trump can then walk in and say, you're adjourned. The president has the authority to adjourn Congress if they can't agree. And then he can recess appoint people and say, while we're waiting, you're the AG, you're the head of the SEC, you're the head of HHS. Bang. It is going to get wild, my friends. Now look at this one. Trump and Joe Rogan share a victory hug as former and future POTUS attends UFC 309 at MSG. Look at Joe. I can't believe this timeline, man. You know, I'll tell you, in the late 2010s, in the mid 2010s, things started getting crazier and crazier. And I felt like I was taking crazy pills. I'm like, I don't understand if this is possible. I remember in 2018, in the midterms, we all thought there was going to be a red wave. And guess what? There was. There literally was. By the end of election night, Republicans were winning. And then late ballots came in that were counted a week or two after. And they were like, nope, Democrats won. And we were like, what? How does this? Well, they count ballots after the fact. And Republicans weren't suing, and they should do it today. But I'm like, how can this be? How can I go outside and talk to people? They do not like this stuff. I was like, and I lived in a blue area. I lived in a blue area in South Jersey that was repped by Norcross. And I see flags on all these houses in this area, and they're thin blue line flags and American flags. And I'm like, how is this place voting for this guy? Well, they do. They do. But you know what? Vindication. I knew it. You all knew it. There is a right side of history, and we must stand firm for what we believe in. But my friends, here's the proof. John Bones Jones performs Donald Trump's famous dance, gives title belt to president-elect after TKO victory. What an epic fight, by the way. Check this out. There he goes. He's doing the Trump dance.
He did the Trump dance. He did the Trump dance.
Show's laughing.
Kick to the body.
Spinning back kick to the body. And it just knocked the other dude out. I'm not a big UFC guy. I watch UFC a bit. But let me tell you this. UFC is one of the most popular sports in the world. It's basically the only sport that I watch outside of skateboarding. I'm not super big. I'm not like a big fanboy. I can't tell you the names of everybody or the technical terms. But people say, you want to watch football? I say no. You want to watch baseball? I say no. But when people are like, hey, you want to watch the fight? And I'm like, yeah, we put the fight on. We'll order pizza and wings or whatever. We watched Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. I was wrong. I was half right. I got to give myself some credit. I said that if Mike Tyson loses that fight, people are going to be pissed. They're going to go after Jake Paul. They're going to insult him. The narrative needs to be that Tyson has one last great victory. And he didn't get it. I will say, the start of the match, I was impressed. Tyson came out fast and swinging and gassed immediately. He's 58. But I digress. I love watching UFC with friends because I can understand when someone gets punched in the face. Now, I'm watching football and someone's like, oh, did you see that? I'm like, yes, but I don't know what that. I can understand an interception, a touchdown. I can understand a field goal, I a little bit. But more technical stuff, I'm just like, I don't know. But watching UFC, I get UFC. I'm like, who are these people? And okay, that's how it works. I'm like, oh, okay, it's entertaining, right? This is huge. And what's hilarious is Democrats are now talking UFC. There's posts on X from these high-profile liberal accounts being like, UFC's not even a real sport anyway. This is stupid. And I'm just like, Democrats, stop. You're going nuts. They have to oppose everything to such an insane degree. You know what, though? There's this picture of Trump. I think it's, I can't remember who's all in it, but RFK's got McDonald's and he's looking at the camera and he's got a Coke next to him. And all these liberals are like, what a hypocrite. He wants to ban McDonald's and he's eating it too. RFK Jr. never said any of these things. This is crazy. They're calling him anti-vax. And I'm like, RFK Jr. is absurdly pro-vaccine. Like, he's the guy who's like, I think you should get your kids vaccinated. He's not anti-vax. And I shouldn't say he's absurdly pro-vax. He's basically the guy who's like, his stance on the vaccine was it should go through the same medical testing as everything else. Then you've got people who want to ban vaccines. Like, there's people on the internet being like, oh, we want to ban vaccines. And RFK Jr. is like, no, it should just be tested. And, listen to your doctor. And I gotta save this one, the longer segment on RFK Jr. But these Democrats are now tweeting drink fluoride. I saw one guy complaining that RFK Jr. wants to get the fluoride out of water. And I was just like, my dude, you may be a victim of fluoride. We know this. This is not controversial. You can look this up on Google. All the corporate press is even writing the same thing. No one's lying about it. There is a direct correlation between fluoride in water and lower IQ levels for the surrounding population. In areas with naturally occurring higher fluoride, the people in the area have lower IQ on average. In areas with less fluoride, the people have higher IQ on average. So RFK Jr. is saying we should not have fluoride in our water. It's good for your teeth, but you don't need to drink it. And there are liberals now being like, but I want to drink it. Okay, well, don't. I don't know. Talk to your doctor or whatever. Here we go. This is it. This is the viral video with 2.3 million views from Byron Donalds.
All the things that make me mad about those other guys and all the things they do wrong, the one thing that I will not forgive them for is their try to steal the joy from this country.
I want to pause real quick and just say, I guess they stole it because they're dancing and you got all these videos. I'll just play it for those that are listening. How many videos is this? This is like 12 videos of NFL doing the Trump shimmy. And I got to give it to John Jones because he understood. Guys, you've got to tilt your head to the side when you do it. You got to tilt your head to the side when you do it. That's what Trump does. And then golf swing, and then he points. Look at that. Well, that's Hulk Hogan doing it. Look at NFL. Oh, he's got MAGA written on his shirt. There you go. Is that Burkhart? I don't know his name. There you go. West Virginia doing the Trump shimmy. Everybody doing the Trump shimmy. There's John Jones. Newscaster doing the Trump shimmy. What is that? Greek TV? Is that Aiden Ross? Listen, the reason why this is so powerful is that only a couple of years ago, people were dropping to their knees. Listen, you have one political movement that says, get on your knees, bow, and another movement that says, dance, just dance. It's going to be okay. You know what I mean? And that's where we're at now. Look at this. Total MAGA takeover. Touchdown. All these athletes, no one's forcing them to do this. They're doing it because it's fun and funny. You got Rogan interviewing John Jones, who's doing the Trump shimmy. Beast. And then take a look at this. Defeated left-wing MSNBC anchors Joe Scarboro, Micah Brzezinski reveal they met with Trump. Time to do something different. Wait till you see. I got another. I got so much to go through. My friends. We got to do a mainstream media obituary. Listen to this. I think I have the video right. No, this is Bill Maher. I don't know where the video is. Let's play this.
A lot of issues, including abortion, mass deportation, threats of political retribution against political opponents and media outlets. We talked about that a good bit. And it's going to come as no surprise to anybody who watches this show, has watched it over the past year or over the past decade, that we didn't see eye to eye on a lot of issues, and we told him so.
What we did agree on was to restart communications.
So this is Joe Scarborough and Micah Brzezinski meeting with Trump. Did you hear that? I want you to hear that one more time. One more time.
Now, we talked about a lot of issues, including abortion, mass deportation, threats of political retribution against political opponents and media outlets. We talked about that a good bit. And it's going to come as no surprise to anybody who watches this show, has watched it over the past year or over the past decade, that we didn't see eye to eye on a lot of issues.
On a lot of issues? You called him a rapist felon? You called him an insurrectionist? You guys are the worst of the worst. But guess what? They ain't talking to nobody. Do I have the ratings here? I want to do a bigger segment on this. But their ratings over the weekend, 28,000. Congratulations. 28,000 people watch your show. Who are you talking to? Just quit. Jeez. Now, to be fair, if I was getting 28,000 views per video, you're still making a living. I don't know how you're maintaining a studio of that size, but 28,000 ain't bad for a single individual who has a home office. You know, and I'll be serious. When I was when I was doing only 28,000 views per day, so with 28,000, I think it was like $300 to $400 per ad read. I mean, that ain't bad. And I would only get a couple per week, but it was pretty great. So with programmatic ads, it's like $100, $200. And then I was like, dude, I'm making like $200 a day off of one video with 28,000 views. That ain't bad, you know? And at the time, that is right around the time I started turning things around and making money for my business. And then I get ad sales and they say, look, do reads for these in the beginning of the video. And then it got to the point where I think with 30,000 views per video, they were paying me $500. And so I was getting like $500 to $700 a day. I mean, that's crazy. That's crazy. I was like, this is amazing. So good. So congratulations to Joe Scarborough. You ain't paying anybody's salaries. You're not running a production studio that large off 28,000 views. If Joe wants to film a video from his basement and make, I don't know, $200K a year or something, you're good. But this is the reality of what's happening. They are collapsing and they know it. And this is how desperate they've become. So take a look at this. AOC, I love this one. AOC asked voters why they backed her candidacy and Trump's re-election. Instagram users pointed to the economy and Gaza. None of it really makes sense. But AOC is even faltering. AOC denounces anyone engaging in online vitriol after Trump's victory, Democrats included. Here we go. AOC, fall in line. I told you, look, I said I don't care if you're in California, West Virginia, or a swing state. Everyone has to go vote because Trump needs the popular vote, and he got it. And that matters because it sends a terrifying message to a lot of these liberals. You see, they don't care about the presidency. They don't care about the House. They care about the popular vote. It's the only thing that matters. They want to know that they're on the right side of history. Far left activists go out in the streets and scream you're on the wrong side of history to anybody who opposes them. They want you to be scared that in 5-10 years, you're going to be begging them for forgiveness or they'll be sending you to the gulags. Now, nobody went to AOC and said, you better get on our side or else. No, instead, we watched UFC and we did the Trump shimmy. Then she realized FOMO. she's going to be left behind. Yeah. Woke is broke. Joe Scarboro and Michael Brzezinski mentioned this before. Bill Maher talks a great deal about it. Woke is broke. People are now waking up to the reality. You backed the wrong horse. America does not want to live under the boot of a psychotic death cult with no clear logic backing them. No, they want a secure border, a better economy, no war. Now we got a lot of big news. I mean, Joe Biden is allowing the use of long-range missiles by Ukraine into the Kursk region of Russia, as North Korea has joined Russia and South Korea may join the fray on the Ukrainian side. Wow. Hopefully Trump resolves this, but Biden seems to just be exacerbating everything right before Trump gets in. But let me not sully this great moment with those stories. Those will be for later segments. Let me just say right now, congratulations to everyone. Thank you to all who went out and voted and who supported my show as well as every other's as we spoke truth to power and had our voices heard. Now, look, right now, Trump's got like 76.5 to Kamala's 73. They're still counting ballots for some reason, even though the election's long over. They're trying desperately to overturn the popular vote margin. They're trying to reduce it as much as possible so they can go to their psycho leftists and say, no, we are still the majority. That's why people like Kyle Kalinske won't stop. He's betting on. And it's funny because the dude just could use Google and realize he's wrong. But anyway, they're going to tell them, no, it's because of Gaza Harris lost. We are the majority. Trust us. It's not going to work on default libs. It's not going to work on grifters like AOC. It's as simple as this. If I go to Pepsi or Coke or any other major corporate, Colgate, and I said, you can run an advertisement to 49% of the population or 51%. It'll cost you the same. They're going to say 51%. It's a larger market share. We'll make more money. Why would we try and put ourselves in that boat? That's why the popular vote matters. Because now we go to each and every one of these corporations and shows and say, choose which side you're going to be on. We're not telling you what to believe. We're pointing out there are more of us that spend money than them. And now everyone's going to fall in line. Disney, they lost $1 billion in their movies. Target, Bud Light. That's right. Woke is broke. I'm going to wrap it up there, my friends. Smash that like button. Share the show with everyone you know. Become a member over at timcast.com to join the movement. Stick around. More segments to come, and we'll see you all then.